Have you ever found yourself spiraling through thoughts, analyzing every detail of a decision, only to feel even more confused? This common trap. If you feel stuck due to overthinking, you're definitely not alone. It's a sneaky habit that often pretends to be helpful. But what if I told you that this constant analysis could actually hinder your growth? Think back to a time when you overanalyzed a decision. Maybe it was a job offer, a relationship. The more you dissected it, the less clarity you gained, right? This is just a harmless quirk. It's a sign that something deeper might be at play. Overthinking often stems from a fear of failure or rejection, tricking you into believing that by considering every angle, you're protecting yourself. In reality, though, you're building a wall around your potential. Imagine standing at a crossroads, frozen by the choice ahead. You see others moving forward while you remain stuck, replaying scenarios in your mind. Their progress serves as a constant reminder of what you're missing out on, creating deep anxiety that grows with each passing moment. Now, consider this: what if that anxiety is actually fueling your overthinking? It creates a vicious cycle. More anxiety leads to more analysis, and the more you analyze, the more anxious you become. You're trapped in a web of your own making. This cycle can lead to missed opportunities and unfulfilled dreams. Instead of taking risks, you cling to what you know, even if it means staying stagnant. Let's raise the stakes. Think about the things you've been putting off: pursuing a passion, starting a project, or reaching out to someone you care about. Each day spent in indecision chips away at your confidence. What happens when those opportunities slip through your fingers? It's a tough truth, but the fear of making the wrong choice can often lead to making no choice at all. You are not just being cautious, you might be sabotaging your future. So what can you do? First, recognize that overthinking is a signal, a warning that you might be clinging too tightly to a false sense of safety. Instead of letting it paralyze you, start small. Make a decision without dwelling on it for too long. Try setting a timer. Give yourself just 5 minutes to decide on something simple. You might be surprised at how freeing it feels. Each small decision can boost your confidence and help you break the cycle. As you notice this pattern, take a moment to reflect on why you're overthinking. What are you really afraid of? The answers might surprise you and could help loosen that grip of analysis. In the end, remember that growth requires action. The uncomfortable truth is that your biggest leaps don't come from endless pondering, but from taking brave, imperfect steps forward. So the next time you find yourself stuck in that cycle, pause, take a deep breath, and ask yourself, what's one small step I can take today? The answer might just lead you to the growth you've been waiting for. Do you ever find yourself replaying every detail of your day? This constant overthinking might be what's holding you back from real growth. You may believe you are being productive, but there's a hidden downside to all that mental juggling. Many don't realize that endless second-guessing can spiral into anxiety and self-doubt. It's more than just a harmless habit, it can be quite damaging. Imagine gearing up for a big presentation. You rehearse every word, but the more you dwell on it, the more your confidence slips away. Instead of preparing, you become paralyzed by fear, trapped in a loop of what-ifs. Sound familiar? This is just about fearing failure, it's also about the pressure we place on ourselves to be perfect. This pursuit of perfection can create a toxic cycle where every mistake feels monumental. The more you analyze, the less you actually achieve. What if that act of overthinking is sabotaging your journey to self-improvement? You might think you're being thorough, but overanalysis can rob you of the spontaneity that often leads to growth. Think back to a time when you hesitated to speak up in a group. You wanted to share your thoughts, but spent so much time worrying about how others would perceive you that you ended up saying nothing. That moment of silence could have been your chance to shine, but instead it became just another missed opportunity. Now let's take this further. You wake up each day with a plan to tackle your goals, but by the end of the day it feels like you've accomplished nothing. It's a tough realization. You thought you were being careful, but in reality, you were just standing still. What if I told you the solution isn't to think more, but to think less? The key is to embrace imperfection and take action despite your fears. Start small. Share your thoughts without overanalyzing how others will respond, and you'll feel a weight lift off your shoulders. As you loosen that tight grip on perfection, your potential for growth will expand. Each small step,